Hello everybody, NGS here and welcome back to Symphogear, episode 9, if I'm not mistaken, and I am not, it is indeed episode 9. Episode 8 went live on YouTube just about now. This one will go straight to Patreon, and a week later it will go back to YouTube. So if you want to watch those episodes 1 week early, head over to the link down in the description and see what's what. But the more important thing is Symphogear. Let's focus on that. The last episode was mostly focused on making amends, I believe. First of all, Chris was making amends for the, I'm assuming, years, maybe months at least, of being a villain. Let's be honest here, she was one of the villains, and she decided to save the city from the attack of the noise. And also, Miku decided to make amends with Hibiki to say sorry that she acted the way she acted and that she simply didn't want to lose Hibiki and she still very much wants to be her girlfriend. And it wasn't just empty words because she actively used herself as a bait to take one of the noise monsters away from the okonomiyaki store owner, I believe. Yeah, someone told me that Miku and Chris weren't that Miku didn't take Chris to her own home. She took her to the okonomiyaki place. Seemed kind of odd to me, to be perfectly honest with you. There isn't, at least in here, there isn't much culture of like being great friends with like restaurant owners and shop owners to the point where they invite you to their own house. So that seemed kind of weird, but sure, I understand that that is what happened, and of course, in the end, Hibiki and Miku made up. They laughed. They snapped a picture, a selfie of them being together. As someone also pointed out, I believe on my Discord server, which you can also join, link in the description, that the selfie they snapped together was the photo that was on Hibiki's grave at the beginning of episode 1. And I'm kind of getting scared for Hibiki. I don't think this show would go as far as to kill off its main character. I really don't think it would go there. It is fairly dark-ish sometimes, but I really would not suspect it to be this dark. So I'm assuming the scene in episode 1 was some kind of a bait and switch. I'm not sure. I'm guessing by the end of the season we're gonna know what's what, but until then we only have speculations, and I can't really speculate much about why Hibiki's grave was there. Maybe, actually, I can speculate about it. Like hell, I can. Maybe Hibiki decided to go all in into the Symphogear thing, into the organization whose name I don't think it was revealed to us. Maybe it was. I don't remember it in any case. Maybe she decided to go all in and disappear off the face of the earth, disappear from school, disappear from her family so that she cannot be hurt but through the proxy of her family, and she essentially fabricated her own death. That would be kind of cool. On one hand, it would be really sad, but on the other, it would be kind of interesting because it would go against another trope of the double life that you often have in shows of this type, right? Where the main character, during the day, they go to school and are happy and have friends and whatnot, and during the night, they are fighting crime. It would be interesting to see Hibiki go all in. Huh. I wonder. I wonder if that's what's gonna happen. I don't have much basis for my speculations, but it was just a thought that came to my head, because I really don't think they would kill Hibiki. Because who would be the main character if they did? Chris? Maybe. Maybe Miku would pick up Hibiki's torch? There's no point speculating about that. What matters is that Chris is maybe not entirely converted to the light side quite yet, or no, she is converted to the light side, but not quite enough to join up with our main team. I mentioned in the previous episode that trope of a Power Ranger that fights with the main team of Power Rangers but is really a loner and only at the end of the season joins up with our team or whatever. Right? I get the same vibes from Chris. She's gonna be helping people, but she's gonna be working besides the main organization, and perhaps with time she will also join us. Who knows? I would very much like to see that. Chris, Tsubasa, Hibiki, Miku sitting around at the okonomiyaki place, eating okonomiyaki, talking and laughing together. That would be a great payoff. That would be a great ending to the season, if you ask me. Or a great beginning of the next one. Hell, there's like, what, 5 seasons of it? Maybe. Yeah, there's like 5 seasons. There's OVAs, there's movies, there's concerts. And by the way, I said that I'm gonna be reacting to everything Symphogear, but I don't think I'm gonna be reacting to the concerts, at least not here live. Maybe we're gonna have a watch party on Discord where we're just gonna, select a time and date and we're just gonna watch the concerts together in voice chat. That could be kind of cool. But everything else I'm gonna be watching, so no worries. Everything that's canon and everything that's not canon. Are there any parts of the Symphogear franchise that aren't canon? I wonder. Tell me about it. Maybe there are some like chibi episodes or something. I've no clue. I've no clue. You be my guides. You were my guides all this time, so continue being them. Anything else that I need to mention? Not really, I don't think. Yeah, Hibiki made up with Miku. Chris decided to join the light side and help people of the city. What's gonna happen next? That's anybody's guess, really. I have a feeling that maybe Finney is gonna attack soon-ish, maybe not. The last episode felt like end of an arc, so it's kind of hard to speculate about what the next arc is gonna be about. The only way to truly find out what's gonna happen is to watch episode 9, so let's do just that. How about that? Let's give you guys some subs, let's give myself some sound, my cables some untangling. I need I don't know, suspend it somewhere so it doesn't get tangled all the time. Yeah. Okay. Subs, sound, vision. Everything's here. So we can start Symphogear. Episode 9, a version by MKVD, subs by D-Truck. There were some mistakes in those subs from what I heard, but they aren't particularly egregious, so I'm gonna stick with them. One particular thing is that Ichibal's was supposed to be Ichiaval or Ikiaval or however you pronounce it. So yeah, that's something that's worth mentioning, I guess. So if there are any other mistakes in the subs, something not translated correctly, something not fully fleshed out, let me know about it, be it in the comments or on the Discord. I'm gonna read all of that. But let's start episode 9 in 3, 2, 1, go. Helicopter, helicopter. Hmm? A military base? Oh, a flashback. Like a regular military organization? What's the deal with that? Yep, she's back and she can fight again. That's an interesting detail. That Hibiki grew wings, and it's even in the logo. I didn't pay attention to that before. Is it purely symbolic? As in Hibiki being a guardian angel of sorts? Or is she gonna get a second henshin where she actually like grows angel wings? Finney in her brand new costume, Chris in her symphogear, smiling Chris. And I'm drinking just regular Earl Grey tea with slice of lemon. Yep, Hibiki ever the brawler. At this point, I kinda hope she doesn't get to summon Gungnir, but she gets to use her Symphogear and her punches and kicks to fight. Oh, Miku got invited? Miku wants to help. Friend zoned. A downtime episode, perhaps? Oh, okay, how is Miku gonna work here? Yes, she very much is into it. Uh, no, not the rich gentleman. Whips and electric chairs? Okay, very much feels like a downtime comedy kinda episode, slice of life-ish thing. Although, with how much tonal whiplash there is in Symphogear, it wouldn't surprise me if Miku was in grave danger by the end of it. Hmm. Ryoko-focused episode. And where is he going? Ooh, maybe not in the presence of your wife, Hibiki. Chris! So Genjiro is taking care of Chris. She's just squatting somewhere. Huh. Hmm. Domesticate her with food. The oldest trick in the book of humanity. But that's an indirect kiss. Chris's parents? Chris's parents. How did she end in Finney's hands then? How did she end up in Finney's hands then? And that girl was you, Chris. Well, there has to be a first time for everything. Straight out gearing up? I mean, yeah, sure, I guess she does have to cushion her fall somehow. It's gonna take more than that to get Chris fully on our side. It's gonna take Miku, and it's gonna take Hibiki. Miku already helped her, so Chris has at least some trust for her. Hibiki's been trying to help her all this time, so Chris might get swayed by her. Genjiro is an adult, and Chris never experienced anything good from adults. So it makes sense that she's distrustful. An anime series just straight out in a isekai. Who are they hiding from? Their schoolmates? Hibiki is getting intense at everything she does. Uh, yep. Isn't it like the state secret? Karaoke. Okay. Just don't sing your suicide song by accident. Yeah, she's just recovered. Again with this I'm but a sword bullshit. Yeah, you've only seen a very small slice of the world. Yep. Puts Tsubasa's actions into a fresh perspective. Yep. And now you have a proper reason to fight. Bad memories. I mean, at least this time they're not gonna be trying to awaken some relic, so the risk of noise arriving and killing everybody should be minimal. And even if, there's at least a chance that the fragment of the Symphogear is gonna be embedded in Miku, and she's gonna join the team. Whomst. I don't think she is. Popstar Music Festival. What's gonna go tits up? I can relate, Hibiki. I can relate. Of course. And if she's gonna get any trouble, I'm almost certain that Chris is gonna arrive Deus Ex Machina. Ooh, that's a nice shot. And there's Chris, as I suspected. She's helping us, fighting alongside us, but isn't quite a part of the same organization. Because it is a deja vu and it is a love holding you back. Maybe not entirely platonic love, but. Chris. Hibiki Ex Machina. Damn! She doesn't need a Gangnir. That's some really nice shots during this concert. I can definitely see that it's CG, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't overstay its welcome on the screen for too long. Just adds a nice bit of dynamic. Lock and loaded. Yeah, she really doesn't need no Gangnir. Okay. A double charge? One and done. Now, Hibiki, if you could convince Chris to join us, that would be swell. But I'm not going to take that offer. So I am gonna take that offer? Whomst. Kanade's ghost? So what, she's gonna go sing overseas? Or is she not gonna go sing overseas? What was her decision? Because... Okay, so she does want to sing overseas. No, she's not. Finney told you that she's the enemy. She's not your enemy. I know that you're thinking that because you're jealous of her, but it's all Finney's doing, not Hibiki's. Interesting that Tsubasa decided to go sing overseas. I really didn't expect that. And now I'm wondering if it's some kind of ploy to get the secrets of the Symphogear out of her. You know, put her into some machine, scan her, duplicate the Symphogear, and mass produce it or something, right? Because you think that with this kind of technology being so important to Japan, being a state secret and being completely unknown to the rest of the world, they'd be pretty damn unwilling to let any of their members go overseas. Interesting. Interesting how it's gonna develop. Tsubasa leaving would certainly cause problems here because it would leave Hibiki alone, essentially. Now she does have Chris, sure, but Chris isn't officially part of the organization. Huh. Interesting. Okay, let's go through this episode again. Yep. Full screen, please, and let's go. Military base. For some reason, Tsubasa and Kanade serving in the military. Is it that the organization used to be purely like military and it just got shifted into a non-military? Also, this is odd. There's an after image of the electrode, kind of like before image. Initially I thought it's smoke, but it's an animation error. Because the electrode she's holding snaps directly into place where that grey shadow was. Oh, that's curious. And the position of her hand is where there is no shadow. Huh, that's an interesting animation error. I wonder how it happened. Okay. Condition green. That's good. OP, OP, OP. I did not expect Miku to join the organization. I don't know how, in what capacity is she gonna join it. Is she gonna be one of the people who are just staring at monitors, observing the situation? Is he gonna be a designated quote-unquote handler for Hibiki? Is she gonna be a janitor here? Nothing so far points at her becoming one of the Valkyries, besides my personal, thoughts and my personal predictions. I still firmly believe that Miku will become the Green Ranger sooner or later. I don't know why I got this thought in my head, but it's been stuck with me. I see on Annulus that her hair is black, and I heard that her hair is supposed to be black. It just looks green. But her eyes are green. Well, turquoise. Turquoise. What did I just say? Uh, yeah, her eyes are greenish blue, so I can fully see her becoming the Green Ranger. Maybe. I don't know how compatible is she with the Symphogear, with the relics. Maybe she's gonna repeat the story of Kanade and she's gonna. Hibiki is gonna be in danger, and Miku is gonna force herself, she's gonna power through the process of becoming a Valkyrie to save Hibiki. That's taken completely out of my ass, but I have a feeling it's something that might happen. Maybe not in this season. Probably not in this season. I mean, we have like what 3 episodes left until the end, so probably not gonna happen in this season, but perhaps in one of the future seasons. Actually, I have a. Where do I have it? Fucking hell. Uh, there it is. Nice notebook. I'm gonna take notes. I'm gonna take notes, and not with this. I'm gonna take notes with my nice pen. Yeah. What is that? Yeah, doesn't matter. Symphogear. I have way too many sticky notes on my monitor, so I'm just gonna use the notebook. Symphogear. What was I saying? Miku is gonna is going to become a Valkyrie forcibly to save Hibiki. There we go. Noted down. We'll see. We'll see how are my predictions. Because I mean, her joining the organization kind of plays into that because she now has access to those facilities. They could have left her outside of the facility, right? She could have been left in the know, but not necessarily working for them. Now she's working for them. She has access to all the facilities. She might be able to persuade, say, Ryoko to conduct the procedure of becoming a Valkyrie on her. It will be interesting. And of course, Ryoko arrives, wants to tell stories about her love. Yeah, and I don't think she met a gentleman in a bar. Miku. I don't think it was. No, that's Hibiki who said it. I don't think it was a gentleman. I think it was a lady, if anything. Or maybe even a little girl. Ryoko certainly seems like the kind of a school nurse who uses her position at school to fool around with girls, so to speak. Uh, focus. Focus, please. Did I change myself? That wasn't like me at all. Did I change myself? Or did someone change me? That's very interesting. That's very interesting, but I can't tell exactly in what way. Right? I can see the significance of what she's saying, but I can't see how exactly is it gonna be significant. Assuming Ryoko is Finei, could she be doubting herself and her own goals? Could she be having second thoughts about whether or not what she's doing is the good thing to do? Maybe, I'm not entirely sure. Did someone change me? Who would that be? Chris? Maybe Hibiki? I think it might have been, if anyone, it would be Hibiki. But how would Hibiki have changed her? That's the question. If Ryoko isn't Finei, somehow, at this point I'm pretty damn sure that Ryoko is Finei, but on the off chance that she isn't, what could she be talking about? That she used to be like Finei, but someone changed her? She changed? I'm not sure. But it's certainly something significant. Ryoko thinks she's changed. Just gonna note it down for posterity. Yeah, nobody knows where Genjuro is, but Genjuro found Chris and wants to help her because he failed at helping her before. Genjuro and his squad, Genjuro personally volunteered to take care of Chris as soon as she arrived to Japan. Problem is, Chris disappeared as soon as she arrived to Japan. I'm assuming she was kidnapped by Finei or by someone else and was given into the care of Finei. That's also a possibility. We know that Finei isn't working alone. She's having phone calls with some English-speaking dudes, so perhaps that organization is who kidnapped kidnapped Chris. I like that she used her Symphogear to cushion her fall and to run away. I like that it's not being that she's not only limiting the usage of her Symphogear to just fights, but he uses it in a more utilitarian way. There was a season of Power Rangers. I cannot recall what the name of that series was, but I think it was the one where they lived in like a post-apocalyptic world. The transformation explosion of when they transform, there's always an explosion behind them. One of the Power Rangers, I think it was the blue one, used that explosion to defeat some enemies. And it kind of, this Chris using her Symphogear outside of a fight kind of reminded me of that. I really like those kind of nods. Whenever there is, say, magic in the world and they're using it only to fight, that kind of breaks my suspension of disbelief, because it would stand to reason that if the world had magic, that magic would be used in everyday life. Like, I know for sure that if I had telekinesis, I wouldn't be reaching for my phone with my hand. I would be just floating my phone into my hands, right? So it's cool to see that Chris is using her Symphogear outside of actual combat. Just a quick thought. Yeah, they're having a nice time. Hibiki makes the best sounds. I swear. Karaoke. That's interesting that despite this song being purely a karaoke one, it kind of fits her. It kind of fits Tsubasa. I am but a sentinel watching over the field of battle. What's that all about? Is it her old personality of I'm just a sword, I'm just a tool, I have no emotions, peeking through again? Is it a translation error, or is it something that I just don't understand? Because it came completely out of nowhere. She's like, oh, I can't, I can't walk this fast. You're so energetic. Wait for me. And suddenly she's like, I am but a sentinel watching over the field of battle. Kind of really out of nowhere. I think during this moment, Tsubasa found her reason to fight. That it's not just fighting for Kanade to continue Kanade's legacy, to fulfill Kanade's dream, but to also fight for herself, for her own dream, for her own world, for her own sake. She kind of reiterates it during the concert, where she says that I used to sing for the world, for everybody to feel better, but now I also want to sing for myself. I think that's a reiteration of her. Not only just I want to sing for myself, but I want to fight for myself, for my own ideals, right? For my own satisfaction. This dude, I don't know what to think of him. He doesn't look like a straight out villain, but he is kinda sorta giving off villainish vibes. Of course, the noise is attacking, but at least the noise isn't attacking the scene, the amphitheater, or whatever you call it. That glow on her chest. I know that's where she has the fragments of the Durandal, but her grabbing that glow, the glow shattering, and Hibiki using that, seemingly using that to power up her punch. It's interesting. Zoom. And all the noise vanishes. Yeah, and her fist isn't even unloaded. The sheer force of Hibik just running past the noise is what destroys them. Yeah, just a shockwave of Hibiki running. I embrace my sins. With the two hands that fail to uphold our promise. That's a very Tsubasa song. Please, my star, bring me the wind. I heard Tsubasa and Kanade when she was singing. Tsubasa, I'm guessing Tsubasa is wind. To fly on wings, and that's where she sings Kanade. I'm assuming Kanade means wings. Maybe. But it's nice that their names have been incorporated into the song. reminds me of... damn, I forgot the name of the song, but the fifth generation of Hololive, Kanata, wrote a song about the fifth generation of Hololive, and all of their names were a part of that song. And what's interesting, they were a part of the song both in Japanese and in the English translation. So that was really cool. This moment really reminded me of that song. Kiryukai Forever, by the by. If you couldn't tell by the huge ass plugin type Asakoko that I had here for a good while. I still love that Hibiki is a brawler, and I will never stop loving that fact. Yep. Please don't give her a weapon. Please don't give her a weapon. Leave her with just her fists and kicks and headbutts and whatnot. Let her rip and tear until it is done. Maybe have the Gungnir manifest as a couple of, I don't know, drills on her hands that will pierce the heavens that she can use to punch or something. But I would really hate it if she switched from the pure brawler style combat to fighting with a lance. It doesn't fit her, honestly. It doesn't fit her personality. It doesn't fit her character. Hibiki is very compulsive, very hot-blooded, so being a brawler really fits her, right? She's very hands-on, she runs around everywhere, she's always aiming for close combat, right? It really fits her. That wild punching and ripping and tearing, even more when she goes full Sika mode, right? It really fits her character. Alanis is a much more, how should I say it? Much more profound weapon, much more noble weapon, right? It's mostly associated with like horseback combat and keeping enemies at bay and precisely striking the enemy, right? That's what a lance is associated with, and that's simply not Hibiki. Hibiki is fists. Hibiki is punching the noise into dust. That's Hibiki, in my eyes. I really hope that if, or rather when, she gets access to Gungnir, to her actual, like, Gungnir weapon, it will either take a different shape than a lance. It will either take the shape of spiky gauntlets or something like that, or that it will be kinda sorta her ultimate, where she doesn't use that in regular combat, because she does perfectly well with just her fists, and only if a super strong enemy appears, then Hibiki calls down the Gungnir, grabs it, calms herself down, and delivers a precise strike. That kind of thing. That kind of thing would be fine. But I would really hate it if Gungnir became Hibiki's main weapon. Unless Hibiki changes significantly as a character, which I would also kinda hate. Or unless Hibiki would find her own way of fighting with that Gungnir. You know, like stabbing all around her with reckless abandon. That would be more like Hibiki. We'll see. We'll see what happens. As of yet, she didn't manage to manifest Gungnir quite yet, so it's kind of pointless to debate about it. I really like this scene. Yeah, the second stage of loading. Sparks. Sparks flying out. It's fully charged. Double punch. And here comes the punch. Here comes the unloading in just a single frame, a lot of motion lines. Sparks, error, impact, explosion. I like Hibiki's fighting style. One punch, or like just running by the enemies. Yeah, I'm gonna be repeating this time and again, but I really like that Hibiki is a brawler. You may have heard that I received an offer to sing overseas. I want to sing for myself as well. That's the breaking point in Tsubasa's story. Well, maybe not breaking point, the turning point in Tsubasa's story. First turning point was, of course, Kanade's death. Then she went through a period of desensitization. No, desens. Fuck. What's the word? Google, correct me. Desensitization. 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 Okay, read it for me, Wikipedia. Can you? No, read it for me, Google Translate. Desensitization. Desensitization. Yeah, I was correct. Desensitization. Finally got it. She went through the period of desensitization. She went through the period of depression, through the period of shutting herself out from the rest of the world, believing that she's just a weapon, just a tool. She just needs to fight. She doesn't need to think. She doesn't need to feel. Now this is a turning point because she no longer believes that she has to fight solely for Kanade. Now she wants to fight for herself as well, and she wants to sing for herself as well. Yeah, from now on I want to sing for myself as well. I love singing so much. This is the one thing I want for myself, so please hear me out. Please allow me this. I was really thinking that her saying that is her saying, please allow me to be selfish for a moment. Please allow me to not go overseas, to sing just to you, to sing just to my audience, and to sing to myself. Because that is what I want. I know that you would probably want me to grow and start singing all around the world, but I want to keep it here because here is where my heart is, and here is where I myself want to sing. But as it turns out, that's not what she was saying. She was saying that I want to sing overseas. And I'm still thinking it's some sort of a ploy to get the secrets of Symphogear out of her overseas. Because as soon as she leaves Japan, she will no longer be under the protection of her, of the organization that she's a member of, right? She will be on her own. Maybe she won't even be able to take the Symphogear pendant with her. It would be strange if she was allowed to bring it overseas, even. It would be very strange if they allowed it. So she won't be able to protect herself should worst come to worst, right? Also, should Tsubasa leave Japan, that would leave only Hibiki here. Hibiki is capable, sure, but she still very much needs mentorship from Tsubasa. which makes me think that either Tsubasa is gonna get shafted on the whole deal. It's gonna turn out that they only wanted her technology, the technology of Symphogear, and not herself. And she's gonna somehow escape and go back to Japan. Or Hibiki will have to launch a rescue mission for her. Or Hibiki will have to fight by herself, and slowly but surely Chris will join her. And they will be the ones fighting the good fight in Japan. Meanwhile, Tsubasa will be overseas, kind of rejecting her Valkyrie past. Maybe Tsubasa's Symphogear will be later used by Miku. It's pure speculation here, but Tsubasa leaving Japan to work overseas, there is not a single scenario where it wouldn't end with some sort of shit hitting some sort of a fan. Whatever happens after Tsubasa leaves, there is no good outcome. And it's kind of fitting because we ended an arc, and this is basically a start of a new arc. This arc that will take those 4 episodes, right? 9, 10, 11, 12. Or is there 13? 13. Yeah. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 5 episodes. This arc might be about Tsubasa leaving and the difficulties connected with it, and perhaps Tsubasa being held hostage and the team having to rescue her. One thing for certain is that Chris will join us sooner or later. It will be either an arc of a great growth for Hibiki and Chris, as they have to handle securing the city without Tsubasa, or it will be an arc of rescuing Tsubasa. Either or. I'm not sure which one will be closer to truth. We will have to watch future episodes to figure that out. Damn it. She's an enemy. Why did I help her? Damn it, Finney. At least Chris knows who to be angry at. She knows that she's supposed to be angry at Finney. She firmly believes that Hibiki is an enemy, but I don't think she knows why exactly. She simply got it in her head that Hibiki is an enemy, but she can no longer justify it. That's why she's so distraught. That's why she says, damn Finney. Because all of this was caused by Finney. Finney put into Chris's mind that Hibiki is the enemy at first, and later Chris decided herself that Hibiki is the enemy, because Hibiki was taking all of Finney's attention, and Chris was very much jealous about it. But now that Finney turned out to be not who Chris thought she is, now that Finney fully rejected Chris, she no longer knows what to think. Because if she's jealous for Hibiki, then why? Finney rejected her. Why be jealous for Hibiki? Is she angry at Hibiki because she believes that Hibiki took Finney from her? Maybe at some subconscious level, but consciously she said so herself, that Finney was using her this whole time. So she understands that there was never anything deeper between her and Finney. She's going through a big personality and belief crisis right now. Maybe not personality crisis, but belief crisis. She doesn't know what to believe, and she doesn't know what to do anymore, because there's nobody to tell her what to do. She has no comfort of receiving orders from Finney. She still has the orders of Hibiki being an enemy, but she starts seeing that maybe she isn't. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance in her head. Additionally, now Genjuro arrives and says that, hey, I was supposed to help you and now I want to make amends. Now I want to help you. And Chris has never had any good experience with adults, so she doesn't trust Genjuro, but she sees his actions are directly contradicting her own beliefs. The same goes for Finney. Finney's actions were directly contradictory to Chris's beliefs. She will join sooner or later, I'm 100% sure of that, but it will not be through Genjuro. And it might not even be through Hibiki. It will be through Miku. Calling it now. Chris joins thanks to Miku. Noted down. We'll see how many of my predictions are gonna bear fruit in the end. And yeah, that's it. No after credits, no preview. The episode just ends. That was a good episode. Seemingly a little bit of a downtime. There is no major crisis facing them right now. Even the attack by the noise was fairly minor compared to other attacks. But it does still grow characters. Pretty much every single character grows. Yeah. Yes, actually. Pretty much every single character grows, be it in the context of the world or grows in our eyes, develops, right? Tsubasa grows because now she has her own reason to fight and her own reason to sing. She wants to do it for herself. Hibiki, I don't think Hibiki grew all that much in this episode. Maybe her decision to go against the noise alone to leave Tsubasa, to let Tsubasa sing. But I wouldn't count it as growth. That just sounds like Hibiki, straight out. Chris grows because she starts questioning her own beliefs more and more and more. And she's shown to fight noise on her own. She's shown to be the good guy, and her walls are slowly but surely crumbling down. We now know more of her backstory, and we now know more of her conflict. That's for sure. Miku probably surprised me the most here, that she decided to join the organization. Although, is it really a surprise? She wants to support Hibiki, come hell or high water, so it's not that much of a surprise that she wants to help, but the extent she went to be hired by the organization, that kind of seems like going above and beyond. Miku definitely grew in this episode. Genjiro also shown some growth. Not maybe like personal growth, but a growth in the eyes of the viewers, because we now know more of his backstory, that he was supposed to be the one to take care of Chris. And had Chris not disappeared, Chris would be one of the Valkyries right now, because she was shown to have great compatibility, and that's precisely why she was scouted and brought to Japan. But Genjiro couldn't save her, and she was kidnapped. Ryoko, oddly enough, also shown some semblance, some beginnings of growth as a character. She herself says that she changed, or someone changed her. Question is, and it's still a question, is she the same as Finney? Is she not the same as Finney? is she considering maybe joining the organization fully, even as Finney? Or is there something else to her words? We don't know enough. I don't know enough to be able to speculate further, but I think it was the first time that Ryoko shown some actual growth and some actual vulnerability. So far, she's been shown as very happy-go-lucky person, right? Kind of, you know, kind of crazy with all the amount of Hibiki photos that she had in her little place. Assuming she is the same as Finney, very crazy, seeing what Finney did. But we still don't know quite enough. I still don't know quite enough to fully form my opinion on Ryoko. Yeah, that was a nice episode. That was a nice episode. And it can take us places. There's a lot of setup for various different stories, right? Tsubasa leaving is one venue to explore. Chris fighting the noise and potentially joining us, that's another venue. And Miku becoming an employee of the organization, that's whole another thing to explore, right? Ryoko seeing the change in her, that's another story. Genjiro trying to make amends, that's yet another. It opens the world and opens the possibilities, the routes that the story can take a lot. A lot. But we only have 4 more episodes left. So question is, how many of those stories will be explored in full? I have a feeling that by the end of the season, one thing for certain, Chris is going to join us. That one I'm absolutely 100% certain of. Other things, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Ryoko will be revealed to be Finney by the end of the season. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure if Tsubasa going abroad is gonna cause issues. Probably, but I'm not 100% on that. Yeah, it's the beginning of the arc, so it's kind of hard to make like full proper predictions, especially with the episode not really ending in a cliffhanger, right? It's very easy to make predictions when an episode ends in a cliffhanger. You can kind of build up the rest of the story, but this episode ended very well. It was very well rounded out. There was pretty much no cliffhanger. Sure, there were some loose threads, but the ending itself was not cliffhanger at all. Regardless of that, I'm gonna be waiting for episode 10. That's for sure. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, then know that episode 10 is up on my Patreon. So if you want to watch it early, you can click link in the description and join that. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end this video here. I've been talking for 1 hour and 13 minutes already, so that's quite a long time. So, as always, let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my reaction, what you think of my theories that I have all noted down. And just, keep it spoiler free, please. I want to experience this series myself on my own. I don't want to be spoiled. I want to make my predictions, I want to make my theories, and I want to see myself which ones come true and which ones don't. Don't spoil my fun, I beg of you. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. What's next? Subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified of future releases. Not only Symphogear, but also Sabiku Ibisco that will be releasing tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Arifureta Season 2. Sabiku Ibisco will be releasing on Monday. Tokyo 24Ku, that's releasing on Thursdays. Those Frontline, that are releasing on Fridays. And of course Symphogear, that's releasing on Saturdays. If you really like what I'm doing, you can join my Patreon. Link in the description. For just $1 a month, you get access to a special Patreon role on my Discord server that anybody can join, and that role gives you access to a special Patreon-only channel. But my Discord server itself is, as I mentioned, fully open, so you can join it and talk about Symphogear. Discord has spoiler tags as opposed to I wanted to say Tumblr, then I wanted to say Twitter, then I wanted to say Twitch, but it's YouTube. As opposed to YouTube, Discord has spoiler tags, so you can talk about Symphogear without the fear of me seeing the spoilers. That's not possible on YouTube, sadly, but it is what it is, as they say. Share this video. I think that's the last thing I have to shill for. Share this video if you know someone who would enjoy it. Share this video if you know someone who wouldn't enjoy it and you want to torture them a little bit. Spread the word. The more you guys spread the word about this channel, about those videos, the more YouTube itself spreads the word, and that, of course, helps the channel grow and helps my content reach more people. And that's the reason I create content, so that people can enjoy it. The more people can enjoy it, the more realized I am as a content creator. That's how it works. So help a brother out and spread this video. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So, as always, do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers! And this is yet another benefit you get if you join my Patreon. No matter the tier of support, you get to be in the credits.